Yaps. It's in the name. Now, there was tragedy out in America recently. In Tumblr, Canada, there was a terrible school shooting. But in, what is this, Rhode Island in the United States, there was a very, very sick man. A man that somewhere down the line, obviously is not a woman. Like, you look at this face. This is not a face of a fucking woman. This is a face of a very, very sick man. And unfortunately, the monster we're looking at took the lives of 5 relatives. 2 were killed, 3 were wounded, and he later took his own life. I mean, this is the craziest thing. I was just kind of scrolling on Twitter last night, like, just, he's a trans? Yeah. Well, is this gonna be the sign? Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the stream. You can see everyone freaks the heck out. I don't know why there's no audio in this one, but I mean, at the end of the day, all you hear is just gunshots. People are freaking the fuck out. Here's another clip of it. You can see people somewhere along the lines. Oh my gosh. Literally right there. Middle of a game? What the fuck? No, for sure. It was the person literally walking down the steps. Wow, that's actually kind of crazy. This person standing up, who is Robert, but goes by Roberta, unfortunately took the lives of his own family. What is even the point of it? Dude, it's so stupid. I just don't understand. Do trans people tend to have lower empathy over average? Apparently, to lock every single transformer in a cell and forget about them? That's kind of crazy. I did say that. Psyops used to believe. Look, he sings a mean redemption. I can't drive 55. I don't even understand. And where's the security? How was even... That's a good question. How was Gunn even allowed to be snuck into here? Yo, what's up, Shuby? I haven't seen you in a minute. Wow. Que pasa? Que pasa? Don't they do the security metal detector? Yeah, that's actually a really good question. How in the world did a gun get past, you know, the metal detection, security guards? This is honestly tragic. Tragic event. Let's stick to the verified facts from law enforcement and keep the focus on the victims and their families. Turning this into a cultural war debate before full details helps no one. I completely agree with this, but Gaurav, if I may ask, my Indian brother, my Indian bhai, who's making this a cultural war right now? I don't think anyone's making a cultural war. This is just tragedy at its finest, and unfortunately, we know a Transformer, we know Megatron, the Decepticon, kind of went after somebody, killed his family, killed him, them. If you want to try to be correct, that's just truly, it's a tragedy. The U.S. there's gun culture. They should make it illegal. That's not gonna help. That's not gonna do nothing. Ranji, I don't know if you know this, but if you make guns illegal, people who follow the law won't buy guns. But people who are breaking the law will still out and go get guns. Thus, 2 examples. 1, it's already happening. You can get, there's places where guns aren't allowed. People have guns. Criminals, right? So, 2. Now, the second option is we could see this with drugs. Many drugs are illegal. People will go to jail for decades for smoking marijuana. And people are in jail right now for smoking marijuana. And people still go out. And guess what? They're going to get marijuana. The security guy got an urgent call from his second girlfriend. Security guy just got distracted. He saw a little baddie go into the hockey game and he said, you know what? I think I'm going to take my 15-minute break and we're going to go watch the game together. Still, people, there's still, you know, there's loop arounds even in laws. You can still own hunting rifles, right? Like, not all guns are illegal, just some of them. But people still find workarounds. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say is, like, if your mindset is for guns, this is my opinion. This may be a crazy opinion, this may be kind of a harsh opinion, but this is my opinion. If your thought process is, oh my God, somebody shot somebody, we should make guns illegal, there's a lot that goes through my head. First, what about cars? Should we just stop making cars illegal? What about knives? Should we just ban knives and swords? I mean, look at England. Has that worked out for them? Why is it never? Why? This is what frustrates me. The people who make up your community are you and me, right? People like us, right? Some better, some worse. Why is it that we're not trying to push our culture, push our brothers, our sisters, our friends to be the best versions of society, and ideally raise the level of like civic awareness, civic sense, cultural awareness, actual empathy, not this fake suicidal, like optical empathy. Because sometimes empathy and being kind is retaliating, is standing up for yourself, is not allowing yourself to be a doormat. I think is the answer. I think that is just the answer of just like teaching gun culture, gun safety as a standard. I think you're going to have a lot less of it. Also, why is it that back in the 1990s, the 1980s, people can go to school with a shotgun hanging out the back of their truck and there was hardly any school shootings? I think there was a much bigger sense of community and culture and pride back in the day. And now, because maybe it's because my generation has grown up and we've just been seeing that we've been lied to with our education, with what the American dream is, with everything else, that we have become calloused. And the idea of walking next door and getting a cup of sugar and coffee and understanding who your neighbor is, it's just very weird in America. If you come to America and you think, oh, you're going to go to a cul-de-sac and everybody in that cul-de-sac is going to know each other and hang out and, be the best of friends, that's just not the reality anymore. That's not even close. On the way to work, but here listening? Oh, thanks, Tiff. When all opinions are bad, it's better to choose the less bad option. I feel like mine is is in the long run the best option. If everyone understands gun safety, if we all can raise the social dollar, if you would, the value of it, I think we'd go higher. I think if we brought back true patriotism, this community, this sense of like togetherness, I think that helps. I think this guy Robert, I think he got sick. I would love to know this guy's medical record, because he seems to have like pretty broad shoulders, some arms. It looks like he did work out. So I want to know, is this guy like on antidepressants? Did the antidepressants absolutely fry and nuke his brain and get him confused? When I see a guy like this, I see a guy who had dreams and aspirations and probably just wasn't meeting them. I don't want to call him a failure. I don't want to call him a loser. He probably did that enough in his own life, right? Where he decided to take the actions he did. But most, the graveyard is a place where most dreams go to die. Most men and women, but most humans live their entire lives chasing a dream, with the pursuit of something, right? As a kid, your inner kid, you want to be an astronaut, you want to be a firefighter, you want to be a doctor. But as you grow up, life keeps just pounding at you, kind of deterring you off the path. And now you're 50 and you're like, man, I didn't want to work at some textile mill. I had a dream. What happened to my dream? What happened to my life? And people go down this dark rabbit hole, and I think that's how you get Roberts to Robertas. I think that's how you get these Transformers, because they hate who they become. So instead of doing the hard thing and the thing that you can really only do and control, which is take control of your own goddamn life and better yourself, maybe you start reading some better help books, you go back to the gym, you change your social circle. Like, a lot of that could save you. But why did he choose the innocent? I don't know. He's sick. He hurts. Hurt people. Why mental health issue is so bad in U.S. I think a couple different reasons. I think it's the food that we eat. I think the food that we eat literally causes us to go insane. I think we've lost a sense of like true community and culture in America. I think everybody is medicated out the gills on some type of antidepressant or SSRI. And I am a firm believer that those things just completely turn you schizophrenic and just completely kill who you are. I've seen so many of my friends take Ritalin, Xanax, And like you see a dude who's on Xanny and who's just fucking blasted out the fucking wazoo. They're not even the same person, right? The way you interact in society with all of your insecurities, your doubts, your confidence, and your delusions, that kind of makes up who you are. But when you just become calm, and I don't say calm, but just level, there's no emotions. It's almost like you're a completely different version of yourself. You're not even the same person. Back in the day, when people got into a fight, like in a store bar, they never thought killing the guy, but just knocking some sense into him. But now, people are much more frustrated and would kill. The U.S. is suffering with some serious drug abuse. Yeah, no, I completely agree on both fronts. Well, Zach, whatever happened to the two dudes having having an issue with each other, and then taking a step outside and duking it out, and then that was it. You know what I mean? And a lot of times after the duke was had, a sense of mutual respect was had. I think it's kind of crazy.